In this video, we're going to tackle this question. We are going to tackle this question. So we're asked to find the equation of the parabola in such a way that it will satisfy these characteristics. So as it stands, there's too much going on here. Try to simplify everything into a picture. So when you read this, P1 equals 0, it means that if you put 1 into this x here, then you put 1 into this x, you put 1 into this x. So when you put 1 into this x and this x, the whole thing here equals 0. So what this statement is saying is this: if you put 1 into the equation, the y value will be 0. And then what this is saying is that if you put 5 into the equation, then the whole thing here will be 0. That means our graph must cross over at 1 and 5. So it would do something like this. It will cross over at 1 and also at 5. And then the second part, the second statement here is saying the range is when x is equal to or greater than -4. So what that means is this. What that means is y is always bigger or equal to -4. So so everything here is always bigger than -4. Everything's bigger than -4. So that means the lowest point is at -4. So our job is to come up with the equation for this parabola where it crosses at 1 and it crosses at 5 and the lowest point is -4. Well, if it crosses at 1 and it crosses at 5, we should be able to jump immediately to this, x minus 1, x minus 5. You see, this thing here will give us a parabola that will cross over at 1 and at 5. But the thing is, by leaving as this, it could give us a really shallow parabola like this, in which case the vertex won't touch -4. Or as it stands, this thing here could give us a really steep one, where it goes beyond -4, where the vertex is beyond -4. We need to be able to adjust how steep it is. You see, by introducing this a, we can find a value of a in such a way that the vertex just touches -4. Okay, so let's summarize. As it stands, we need a parabola that crosses at 1 and at 5, and the lowest point must be at -4. So we can jump to this. We can jump to this, but we need to introduce this a so that we can adjust our vertex. So our parabola will take this form. So our next job is to find a, the value of a, in such a way that the vertex will be at -4. Okay, we know this part here, we know it's going to cross 1, and then this thing here we know is going to cross at 5. We just need to find a value of a in such a way that the vertex will be dead on -4. So our job is to find a. So let's well, if you're trying to play around with the vertex, which we're trying to find a vertex in such a way that it will be at -4. If you're trying to play around with the vertex, then think about completing the square, because completing the square allows you to identify the vertex. So anytime you're trying to work with a vertex, think about completing the square. So let's multiply this out. So this times this times this will then give us this. This times this will then give us this. And then join these two up, so that will give us -6. Next time when you're trying to do this, try to jump from here to here straight away, because you know that you're going to get x squared, but then this times this, you know you're going to get -5x. This times this, you know you're going to get -x. So merging these two will give you -6x straight away. So rather than doing this step, just jump from here to here. Try to train yourself to multiply this out. Jump straight from here to here. Okay, so we are currently here at the moment. So now, hang on. So now we are currently here at the moment. So now your eyes zoom into this bit here. Complete the square on this bit here. So your eyes should now zoom into this bit here. So completing the square will always be half of this. So completing the square would always be half of this. So that would be 3. Half of that would be 3. So it would be of this form. And then you immediately take away the rubbish. The rubbish would be 9 in this case. 3 times 3 would be 9. And then you carry this across, so plus 5. So that would then take you to here. This thing here would be this thing here. So now you've got a single number, merge these two together. That will give you -4. And then now you've got one block and another block. This A here is another block. So get this block times this block. That will then give you this. And then get the A times the 4. That will then give you this. So now once you're at this stage, you're trying to get the vertex in such a way that it will be -4. I hope by glancing at this, you can see that if you put 1 into the A, then it will give you this. Hang on, then it will give you this. If you put 1 into the A, it will then give you this. Hang on, it will give you this. So now you can see that you move this across by 3. You move it across by 3, and then you drag it down by -4. So once you're at this stage here, I hope you can just glance at this and see that A should be +1. So this is our final answer here. So let's suppose you want it at not -4, but let's say -7. So you're trying to get this to be -7. So on a blank space somewhere, do this. 4A equals equals 7, like this. So you're trying to make this to be 7. I'm just saying this is your final answer here. So but if you want the vertex to be -7, then you try and make this to be 7. You try and make this to be 7, in which case A will be 7/4. If you want the vertex to be at -7, but the question says it wants it at -4, so this would be your final answer. Okay, this will be your final answer.